Caleb A.M. Are you ready to rock, Caleb?
Yeah. Everybody get pumped up. It's Caleb A.M.
Yeah. Are you tired?
I mean,
I'm tired.
I'm like physically exhausted right now.
You did play pickleball for
A
8
while.
hours. I don't know, a lot of hours.
That's a long time.
So, makes sense. Well, my name is Caleb Griffin.
Mine's Caleb Lad.
This is a show called Caleb A.M. It's where we talk about Jesus.
We drink caffeine.
We answer a question.
We talk about life.
School's out.
School's out. Officially.
Officially, school's out.
Last week we said we don't have to go to class, but this week we're done. Officially.
I guess ever.
Did you see Tramp put grades in?
What do you get?
Not for the freaking
Not for the
thing that
fact sheet,
matters,
but
I made a 90 on that.
I made a 94.
Nice. I knew that was easy.
Yeah.
Oh, my grade just went down another whole %.
It hurt. Did you put it in and it just didn't notify?
No, I had a 93 and then it went down to a 91.
Oh, after the exam?
No.
Oh, it just went down. So did you put the fact sheet in?
Nope. I guess she's just dropping my grade.
That's like the last, that and like my
I'm so stressed out about that.
my paper and my exam are the last thing I'm waiting for in business class, but I won't see what I made on the last exam in this class.
Yeah.
So I'll just have to.
I still don't know what I made on.
That's what I was talking about
I got
that
that
too.
A.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was talking about that to Sam, was the dude at the pickleball court I was talking to yesterday. He's in my business class this semester. He said, Bobby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he graduates this year, or this semester. Like,
So
what's
he's
the day,
done.
what's today's date? The 8th?
8.
Yeah, he graduates tomorrow. So,
Good for him.
and he was like, yeah, do you know when Bison will get those grades? And I was like, probably the very last day if I had to guess. And he was like, yeah, it's no big deal. I just need to graduate soon. So I guess I graduate. I don't know. But I told him, I was like, unless he just like absolutely didn't answer the questions, I don't think Bison is gonna fail you. So
Yeah. Bro's good.
yeah. So
I liked him.
everyone loves Bison.
I was not the pickleball guy.
Sam, yeah.
He seemed nice.
He's a really
He
nice
made a
dude.
cookout joke.
He did make a cookout joke. He's like, so that's how I know I've made it in life, when I own and operate a cookout. It's like, oh, it's a great goal.
So funny. He was like, you could get an NIL deal.
From-
Get sponsored by Cookout. And I was
That's
like,
the first place he went to. Yeah, no, he's a really nice guy. I was like, me, I'm awkward. I don't talk to people unless they initially talk to me, and he initially talked to me, which was really nice. So
he seemed nice.
he's a really good, really nice guy. But yeah. Anyways, moving forward. Bible verse. It's Moi Twin today. I'm doing Revelation 3,
Oh,
20
Revelations first.
through 22. Behold. Starts off with behold. I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and eat with him, and he with me. The one who conquers, I will grant him to sit with me on my throne, as I also conquered and sat down with my Father on his throne. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. So obviously, it's writing to one of the churches. And he says, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and open the door, I will come in and we will eat together. Basically, Jesus is not just going to burst into our lives regardless of what we do. It's a thing that we have to accept, and part of that is opening the door of your heart and letting him enter. And if you do that, it says, he will come in and eat with you, and he will grant you to sit with him on his throne, which is in heaven. And he says the one who conquers there, and he says that to every church that he writes to, he who conquers this or he who conquers that or the one who conquers this, like the whole thing with Revelation, not just, a prophecy of what's going to come in the end times, but it's also just a message of perseverance to the church, and that, you're going to deal with a lot of things and a lot of trials, but if you persevere through that and you conquer the world in a spiritual sense, you're going to go to heaven. So I really like that verse because it's,
like those verses too.
It's encouraging. Like, keep striving, keep
on keeping on.
Yeah. So that was my verse. Caffeine.
I have a purple guava pear. I'm gonna start drinking it now.
How many of those do you have?
5 left. I haven't been drinking a lot, so.
Yeah. I got another Dunkin' iced coffee caramel.
I probably should have drank them fast because they were literally expired before I even got them. But I don't really think energy drinks can go bad.
Well,
So,
it's possible.
I don't know. Still tastes good. I mean, there's a little bit of a different flavor. Alright.
The Dunkin' bottle has a weird design to me. Like, this thing should come off, and it should be like a normal bottle, and it doesn't. And there's nothing right there. I don't like it.
That is weird. You know what else is weird?
The pole.
The pole. It's actually not that weird,
It's
but
actually a nice one. Every week on Caleb A.M. we do a poll where we ask you guys one of the biggest debated questions on the planet, and you can go to our Instagram.
and that's not a debate.
That's not a debate. That's just straight fact. If you like to debate us on it, go ahead, but you will lose. Our Instagrams are down in the description below. You can go there to vote on our polls. Next week it'll be on mine. Mine's the one with Griffin in it, and his is the one with Lad in it.
Mm-hmm.
The next week it'll be on his. So go follow both so you can vote on the poll. This week is a great one to kick off summer with. Lemonade, sweet tea, or Arnold Palmer. The reason this is such a great one to start off summer with is because sometimes when it's a nice warm day outside and you're inside and you want something to drink, it's normally one of these 3 options unless it's water. So,
Yep.
Pretty great question.
For most people, yeah.
These are all summer type beverages. And
Yeah, I was trying to think of a summer question. This is what I came up with.
I think you nailed it. When you're in Mississippi, if you're at a 4th of July party, there's probably a jug of sweet tea and a jug of lemonade if you can choose from. Just last week. No, not last week. Was it? No, it was not last week. It was the week before. Just 2 weeks ago, we had senior Sunday service at our church, and we had, like dinner and fellowship hall after, not dinner, lunch in the fellowship hall afterwards, and there was jugs of sweet tea and lemonade. And those were like the choices, unless you wanted water. So, some people did mix the sweet tea and lemonade to get an Arnold Palmer. So it's great poll.
So what do you think won?
With us being in the South, I do think sweet tea got the edge. I think it's close between sweet tea and lemonade. I don't think Arnold Palmer really stood a chance. Not that it's not good. All of these things are delicious. I love sweet tea. I love lemonade. I like good Arnold Palmer. My favorite piece tea is called Caddyshack, and it's a mix of tea and lemonade.
Hey.
I like all 3. I don't think Arnold Palmer really stands a chance in today's debate, just because most people, I think, have a preference of sweet tea and lemonade already. They don't need to mix them. I'm gonna say sweet tea got 55. Arnold Palmer got 10, and lemonade got 35.
You were extremely close on sweet tea. It got 51.
51.
And then The other was close. It was lemonade 24, Arnold Palmer 25.
Arnold Palmer beat lemonade.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It wasn't like that when I went to sleep last night. So
Wow, that's
I guess
crazy.
Arnold Palmer kept having like bursts of voters. Like it would be getting none for a while, and then it would get like 5 in a row.
I can't believe Arnold Palmer beat it.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who's just like, you know what I'm craving right now? An Arnold Palmer. Like, I don't know. I've never met that type of person. When I worked at the grill, I didn't know what an Arnold Palmer was.
I didn't know what an
somebody
Arnold Palmer
ordered
was
it,
until
and I had to ask, what is an Arnold Palmer? I tried to go to the bar because it sounded like it was an alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
So I was going to go to the bar like, hey, someone ordered an Arnold Palmer, and I can't find that on the bar tab on the toast thingy. And they're like, Caleb, that's sweet tea and lemonade. It's not alcoholic. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, you just mix half sweet tea, half lemonade. My mind was blown. And then I found out it was named after a golfer named
Did you
Arnold
card
Palmer.
or ID the people that asked for it?
No, they were older.
That'd be so
But-
funny. If there was like a college student and it's like, can I see your ID?
What?
Why?
Yeah, no, they were older. It was an older couple, so I didn't ID them. But
Yeah, I didn't know what Arnold Palmer was until I started working at Chick-fil-A, and then somebody asked for an Arnold Palmer, and then I desperately, like they walked off to their seat and everything. I don't know why, but I was like freaking out. I was like looking everywhere for the Arnold Palmer on the screen. I was like, I have no clue what I'm doing. And then I turned around, I was like, guys, what's an Arnold Palmer? And they're like, just half tea, half lemonade. I was like, I knew that. Good. You passed the test. Good stuff.
you're still hired. Now get back to work. Sorry. That's what I ordered.
I personally would say lemonade. Kind of sad lemonade just got shafted. I feel like last place was hurtful. I don't like sweet tea. It doesn't help that two times now, it was actually 2 weeks ago that this happened to me. The only 2 times now that I've had sweet tea, it was when I was under the impression I was about to get a sip of water. And so I got sweet tea, which is not like, when you're expecting something and you get something totally different, it's going to be bad, like pretty much no matter what you taste. So,
You want to hear something crazy?
sure.
I was having a conversation with Nathan after work Monday night, and we were talking about sweet tea, and he said, I just don't like sweet tea. I was like, dude, that's crazy. You're from the South and you don't like sweet tea. He's like, well, the last couple times I've tried it, I was expecting like Dr. Pepper, and I ended up drinking sweet tea, and it just completely ruined it. And I was like, wow,
I need to talk to
that's
Nathan
pretty
about
crazy,
sweet tea.
because that's what happened to you.
It's
Yeah.
seemingly exactly what happened.
Anything you drink, whether it could be the best beverage or the worst beverage of all time, anywhere in between, if you drink it expecting something else, you're gonna hate it.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad, no matter what it is. But
Unless you're doing some like mystery drink, but even then
Yeah.
it'll probably be worse than you were expecting.
yeah,
Or sometimes like I've drank a Bang, like without looking at the can, expecting a different flavor, but that's also different because I know I like all those flavors. But
right.
I was at I should have known something was up. I was at that Mexican restaurant right by CCC, and I ordered a water. The guy said water, and I was like, yeah. And then he walked off, came back, and then it was a red cup, which should have. But I don't go there enough to really know
But it should
that it should have been a clear cup. But the liquid inside looked clear, and so I didn't think anything of it. I just took a big sip and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that ain't water. That ain't water." And it was disgusting. It was vile.
I'm sorry they ruined your dining experience.
They didn't ruin my dining experience. They ruined sweet tea. Because I was actually getting to the point of like, it's been like 5 years since I had my last experience where I was like, yeah, this is going to be water, and then it was sweet tea. So maybe I should try it and see if I actually like it. Nope. It's going to be at least 5 more years now.
At least.
At least 5.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
I'm a sweet tea guy, and I always will be. It's a big part of my life.
Most people from the South are. So,
I feel like if
especially JJ.
I feel like if I took it to the north, like, I'd make bank. I don't know.
I don't know. Sweet tea exists in the north at like fast food places.
Not really. It's not like on McDonald's menu if you go to New York.
Really?
Just because no one drinks it. Because they don't know about it yet, but they will. When Caleb's Sweet Tea Shack opens, and I make bank. Just kidding.
I bet. I believe in you.
Thanks, man. I'm just kidding. I don't want to open a Sweet Tea Shack. But
That's not my goal.
it's not my goal in life.
I wouldn't mind doing it for a year. Just make a little side money.
Sell the business.
Yeah, once I have $1 billion, I'll sell.
The world's going to such like a plant-based diet thing and healthy diet thing, which is great considering that obesity is a big problem. But because of that, that means I don't think a bag of tea mixed with sugar is going to sell well.
I mean,
north. But it might.
it's still tea.
Still tea.
Probably trick people with the whole tea name.
Yeah. There's some of that Splenda crap in there.
Stevia.
Stevie.
Get some stevia. So how's your week?
It's been great, honestly. You know, no classes.
That's good.
Went to prayer breakfast yesterday morning, and that was fun.
Where was that at?
Chick-fil-A in Columbus. I was with the youth group at First Methodist, but that was a lot of fun. And the senior guys there, at least the senior guys there that go to Heritage, it's their like senior day, so they were wearing like the t-shirts they were all going to college in. T-shirts they're all going to college in. That a t-shirt of the college they are going to.
Yeah.
They were all wearing those. So I got to talk to all of them about school and what they were doing and everything, which was fun. And that was a good time. It was a nice little time. That was a lot of fun. Other than that, I mean, it's been chill. You know, I've had work. No classes. There's a little bit of anxiety waiting for grades to get put in because I'm done, but like I don't know what I've got.
Yeah.
But it appears that I might get all A's. We'll see.
Just need
Here's to hoping at least.
Professor Tram to get her grade on.
Yeah.
And
then
farther up than I am. Sorry, I got distracted.
Very good.
There.
I'm waiting on Tram to put in the drug fact sheet and then another professor to put in his grades, which he might have put in the grades for the exams, and I just don't know because he doesn't have those listed on Canvas.
Yeah, that's what I don't know about Armstrong. I'm gonna just have to keep checking my state grades to see if I make it a B or an A or a C, all where possible.
Yeah, I hate that. And then I had to change my schedule around a little bit for next semester due to some class issues. So as of right now, I'll be taking a 5-week summer class, which is asynchronous online, and it's personal selling with a professor who everyone says, all the marketing majors I talk to says like the easiest marketing professor ever. So hopefully that goes well. And then because of that, next semester I will have 3 in-person classes and then another asynchronous online class, which I already knew I was going to have, that I will have throughout the semester. But yeah, so 3 in-person classes, and 2 of them are Albert Bisson classes. So here's to hoping. And then the other one I have with Colton. So I'm hoping next semester will be pretty fun because of that. And I got that all squared away yesterday. And the online class I'm taking next semester, though, I actually had to sign up for the online class. Usually, the past 2 semesters in a row, I've had an online class that was in person, but they switched to online because of a staff changing. So
Somebody going to war.
Yeah. So, you know, I'll take it, and I've enjoyed having like one online class because they're usually easy. I can do it at my own pace, and you know, I haven't had a problem retaining the information or learning in those classes. So I'm looking forward to another online class. The 5-week one kind of scares me because I don't like the idea of having to go through an entire semester of work in 5 weeks. But I think I can manage if I just do it. So
Yeah.
here's to hoping.
Shouldn't be bad.
Yeah. That was my week. Changed my schedule. We played pickleball. It was fun. When we got back, I tried to get Colton to go see Fall Guy with me, but he wouldn't go. So I watched King of Queens, and yeah, my week's been great. It's been a good week.
That's good.
School's out. What about you?
My week's also been good. I found out that I could get an A in a class that I thought I couldn't get an A in, which I might have known by last Wednesday, and I might have said something about that, but I don't remember. And I got an A, so that's great. There was another class that I could potentially get an A in, but I took that exam yesterday also, so I don't know what my grade is. And it's going to take a while for that to get graded. But I don't know. I needed like a 70, and I got close maybe, but I don't know. It was a really long exam with plenty of room to make mistakes, so it's kind of like up in the air. I'm starting to just get annoyed with Armstrong because we took a Scantron exam over a week ago and we still don't have grades for it. Seems absurd. Just put the grade in. Like, you have to have it graded by now. There's no way you don't.
I mean, literally, you just go to the testing center and you put the Scantrons in the machine.
It should be such an
and it prints you out everything. Like, after Jonathan explained to me how the Scantrons work, like how it just gives you a piece of paper that has everyone's name with their grade attached to it, it makes me mad when it takes a professor any longer than 2 days to get a Scantron grade.
You should just go after the exam. Like, it's just
like,
she has 2 classes back to back that are dev psych. Just as soon as they're done, go take them, do them all, and then put the grades in. It cannot be that hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's annoying. But I'm sure I just made a B in there. It's just the more I wait, the more I get scared that I made a 0 on the exam, which I know I didn't. But I get scared.
And I made a C in dev psych, so you're gonna do better than me.
Unless I make a C also.
Oh.
If I bomb the exam, I make a C.
I hated dev psych so much.
It wasn't fun, but it was whatever.
It was boring to learn about, and I don't like Armstrong as a professor. No offense, Miss Armstrong, you're a nice lady. It's just I don't like you as a professor.
I've kind of been indifferent on the class. I kind of liked it towards the end. It was kind of fun, but it was also because some of the stuff that we were learning about, I was like talking to Jack about, and he was having a kid, so it was kind of like I could relate. Not that I was having a kid, but so it was kind of fun. I liked it. And then my other 2 classes, health psych. I knew I had known that I had an A in there for like 3 weeks now, so I stopped stressing and thinking about that one a while ago. Drug use abuse. If Tram doesn't put this freaking grade in,
dude,
it's
driving me insane.
My gosh dang mind. I'm so sick and tired of waiting for that thing. I wouldn't care if it wasn't worth my
30% of our grade.
Everything I've done in that class hasn't mattered because of this assignment.
Literally.
Oh my gosh, dude. I've never hated a college assignment more than that.
And she
also didn't drop any of our class activities, which, according to the syllabus, we were supposed to have 12, and 2 get dropped. I think we had 5, and I missed one because I assumed it would get dropped. And that was the whole point of her dropping 2. Is like, if you have to miss class for any reason, you drop one.
But then we made it to the last 3 days of classes, and she was like, I realized that we've only done 4 of the things. I went, well, did you not have this planned out, like what days we were gonna do stuff? Like,
I mean, I kind of get it because she's also a PhD student, so she's got a lot to do herself. Unlike other professors who this is your job and this is everything you're supposed to be doing. If it was a legit professor, I'd be extremely pissed.
yeah,
Now I'm just kind of moderately upset about the whole situation.
it's annoying.
But Like,
I really like her,
yeah,
but she's done some stuff to annoy me.
Yeah, I agree.
This project is the worst thing ever. It's one of my least favorite things that's happened to me in a college class because it's just so.
the project's like not even hard. It's just the fact that it's worth 30% of our grade is.
And the grading like the rubric was so
Bland.
It's
Yeah.
like based on what I did, I could make anywhere between a 50 and a 100.
If
Like,
I
it just depends
don't
on if
make
she
a one-
wants me to fail the class. Or
If
not.
I don't make a 100, I'm gonna be extremely upset. Like, I don't know what else I could have done differently, what other information I could have researched and thrown in.
Yeah.
I cited my sources.
It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
Yeah. So just get the grade in so I can have peace of mind, and if I
And
get
then
a
like
zero,
every
I'm
other
reporting.
day in class, especially like close to exams, she would like try to make us feel bad for her. Like
Yeah, I know.
I have a lot going on. It's like, so do I. Like
You're
I
not
get
the
you're a
only one.
PhD student, but you went through college. You're aware that college isn't easy. I hate when
She
people
went to
that are
Liberty, too.
that are like older than you and in a higher level start complaining about, oh man, my junior year of college wasn't nearly as hard as my PhD year. It's like, well, I'm in my junior year, and my junior year of college wasn't nearly as hard as my junior year of high school. But I'm not going to go around the high schools and say, yeah, you have it easy right now. Just wait till college, because they're not in college. I'm not a PhD student.
Yeah.
So dumb.
I think it's crazy that she went to Liberty because she so clearly
Yeah.
is not the type of student you think would go to Liberty.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny.
I think it's funny how I think she's scared to like, or she was scared because we're not in her class anymore to
Yeah.
like say that she thinks drugs are bad or something. Because it would be about like heroin, and she was like, now I'm not saying you can't do this, but these are just the facts. I'm like, you could tell your students not
Don't
to do heroin.
do
I feel like
drugs.
you could get away with that.
I don't
And
think.
I know she could get away with that because
I don't think the university is going to
my
fire
biopsych
you
professor.
because you said heroin's
Yeah.
bad.
My biopsych professor, she was like, she kept saying, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Like, literally, we're not even in drug use. She would bring up the fact that she taught drug use once and was like, yeah, it wasn't the best. I kind of enjoyed the subject, but it's kind of just like, I just kept telling the students not to do drugs. I was like, I kind of wish that was my experience, because it was literally like, every time a drug was mentioned, she was like, I'm not telling you not to do it. These are just the facts. I'm like, okay. We're talking about like the most addictive
Just the fact. Schedule 1
Schedule
drugs.
1 drug that will kill you if you take too much of it. Like,
Yeah.
you could say, don't do this.
The funniest thing
I
about
couldn't
that
tell if it was
class-
because she did drugs or not.
I think she has definitely done
She's
something.
dabbled.
But I think still, to me, the funniest thing in the class, and this will never not be funny to me,
This was so funny.
is when we were talking about the gateway theory about marijuana, and the
So
dude
funny.
who is a self-proclaimed pothead that sits behind us in class gets angry and says it's not a gateway drug, and then describes marijuana in the exact definition of a gateway drug.
She said, it's not a gateway drug. It's just something you start with if you want something light. But then eventually, if you want something stronger, you move into some stronger.
literally
stuff.
said
That
what-
is
He literally
the
said, like,
literal definition.
and if you need something stronger, like, yeah, you're gonna go into something harder. I'm like,
that's
what do you think a gateway drug is, dude?
That is exactly what a gateway
Dude,
drug
It
is.
took everything in me not to laugh out loud when he's.
We looked at
describing
each
that.
other and we're like, that's what the gateway drug is.
It's like,
That was awful.
bro,
dude.
described a gate, and Trav just like, yeah, exactly. I was like,
I mean, I get if you are
Like-
trying to defend weed because you like weed, but like,
you come up with a better
just because
argument,
it's a
man.
gateway drug doesn't mean that it's like inherently bad. Like, I think it's bad, but that's
Yeah.
just because I hate the smell of it.
I think there's
Yeah.
pros and cons to it, in my opinion. Like, you know,
There's pros and cons, but
you don't.
I
you
don't see any of them. I see it smells bad,
Yeah.
and then I get pissed.
But
when I
that's
smell
if you smoke it. There are, you know, the gummies and
it. Yeah.
oil and stuff that isn't going to smell that bad. I'm never going to get involved with any of it because I don't trust
Gateway
myself, and it's a gateway drug. But, you know,
It's not a gateway drug. It's just something you start with, and if you
yeah.
want something stronger, you move on.
But
Yeah, sometimes it was Tram, it was just so hard to tell if she actually knew what she was talking about. There was that one time that somebody asked what something was on the quiz thingy we were playing, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know." And I was like, "I feel like you should know.
You're the professor.
You're the professor." And then there was the funniest thing was when it was on one of the schedule questions on the last Kahoot we played. The answers were Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3, Schedule 4. And only 10 people were playing because we had the free Kahoot, which screw Kahoot for doing that. Like, that's freaking stupid.
Y'all ruined childhood for
Like,
so many people.
Nobody was going to go out and buy the Kahoot that let them play with 50 people. That's so dumb.
You ruined classroom hijinks for so many kids growing up.
Like, just no fun.
That's on you.
That's on Kahoot. Screw
Come
it.
on, guys. Be better.
But there was only like 13 kids in the class, in our class. 13 students. Sorry, we're not kids.
She said you could get on teams.
And we can just play teams. So we were playing teams, and then so the answers were 1, 2, 3, 4. Those were essentially the answers. One person, one team answered Schedule 1, and then the rest of us answered Schedule 2, and the answer was Schedule 3. And so we were all wrong. And then she looked up at the board. She was like, "Good job, 90%. That's not bad."
I think she just misread it.
I think so, but I was like,
we were like,
I was like, I think that you should know the right answer, but like, I'll give it to her. She probably misread it. Considering the answers were, in Roman numerals and looked very similar, but they were in order. I just thought it was funny. I thought she was being sarcastic at first, but then I was like, oh no, she didn't explain why we were wrong or anything. She just moved on.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. But unless she, on that assignment, drops my grade to a B, I won't have any real issues with her, and I won't feel the need to email her and then report her to somebody.
Yeah.
Because I will report her if I make a B in that class.
Same. Well, I mean, not really, because I'm still borderline. I don't think you're borderline AB.
I definitely wasn't until my grade went from a 94 to a 93 after making a 90 on that exam, and then since I checked the exam, it went down to a 91.
So
like,
you
what happened?
I don't know.
You should check yours. I'm nervous for you, man.
Well, mine's right. I could check it here while we're on live. It was a 90, like a 90 point something. Is our thing working? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Cass.
I'm gonna check mine again and see if it went down again. No, it stayed the same.
I figured out how to get my touch print to let me do Duo, so I don't have to use my phone anymore.
Nice.
It's pretty high. Also, let's see. Oh, I got an announcement from Dr. Bissett, and 4 grades put in. I've already seen this announcement. If you haven't already submitted a copy of your term paper,
Well, apparently I made a 0 on
and they're just our readings.
a class activity.
Oh, he gave me an excellent
Nice.
on one of our readings.
Apparently I made a 0 on the marijuana class activity.
Was that one of the ones you weren't there for?
No, I specifically remember talking about how it was a gateway drug. Maybe she didn't agree with me.
Oh yeah, that was the written.
Yeah.
And I said the same exact thing, so maybe she gave me a 0 for that too. Let me check.
That'd be stupid.
I do have a grade in, but I think that's just the.
I guess that's
Yeah,
what brought my
still-
grade down again.
I still have a 90.
Go check the assignments.
Well, what was the name of that class activity?
It's just called marijuana.
I got 10 out of 10.
What? Well, that's cool. And since she's not doing drop grades.
Right. Let me see if she's put drug fact sheet in for me yet while I'm checking.
She has not put mine in.
She hasn't put my PRP in either.
I can't wait for her to put a 0 in on the PRP, 0 to 50 in it.
It won't drop. No, what? She fixed it.
Okay.
Yeah. It just will give you extra credit. Like, dude, the 15 points I got on that took my grade from, without the drug fact sheet being factored in, brought my grade up 3 points with the extra credit PRP, which was cool. Because I think after I told her it's dropping my grade when I put 15 out of 50 and she switched it, she messed up. Because my grades got so far up, dude. Just for doing 50. I wish I would have done all
like 80 potential or 8 potential things you could do to get the full 50s. I think I'd have a 100 in the class. But yeah.
Well, then it's probably a good thing because if it had gone up that much, she probably would have noticed.
I don't think she would have.
Actually, yeah, I don't think she would have.
But
She would have noticed it after like grades were supposed to be submitted, and she was like, "Hey, Caleb, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to give you a B."
can't do that. It's after grades
Can't do
supposed to be
that.
submitted.
I just refuse to be a B in that class. I've had a guaranteed A for too long in there, and I've had too many other classes that were essentially guaranteed Bs that I've somehow managed to turn around.
Yeah.
That I mean, I guess it would make sense to get screwed over like that since I've turned around my B classes, but like I refuse to get an A just cuckolded from me. I will not take that.
Unless something stupid happens, like drug fact sheet does something stupid, or for whatever reason Bisson does not like my paper, or that was like probably the best Bisson exam I took last week, so I'm not scared about that at all. But unless he hates my paper, which is pretty possible, if I'm being honest, I should get an A in that class. But I should have all A's, and that'll be 3 semesters in a row, and then it's just finishing out four A's. So here's to hoping. We'll see.
I hope so.
Our 4 semesters of A's, which would be sick, especially considering I started off college so poorly.
I'm proud of how far I've come. It's weird. It's weird thinking about how I don't know how I made it this far with the grades that I started with. Like I had 2 C's in my second semester. I had 1 C in my first semester. I'm pretty sure that's all the C's I got. But like, I haven't had a C since freshman year.
Bro, my first.
And freshman year my classes were so easy. I mean, it was Cal that I got C's in. To be fair to myself, Cal is not easy for me. I suck at math now. I'm really good at most maths, but not calculus.
My freshman year, first semester I had a D, a C, and then the second semester I had 3 C's. So,
One up me then, idiot.
but every other class I had an A in, so it didn't even out.
It did not even out, but it definitely helped. I had like
If like any
a
of those
C and 2 B's and 2 A's first semester, and then 2 C's and 3 A's I think second semester.
If any of my A's would have been B's, I probably would have had to leave state, according to my mom, because I was right on the borderline, like the GPA to where I keep my scholarships.
I lost my scholarship after my freshman year, or one of my scholarships, not all of them.
Yeah.
And then after freshman year, my dad called me and he was like, "Dude, that was a rough night." It was funny. Me and Andy both, like at the same time, dropped out of the scholarship range for one of the ones that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And he like texted both of us and called both of us, and he tells this story when he's trying to show people that I'm like I care a lot about what people think of me, or not what people think of me. I care a lot about like things.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to say I have a big heart. You know what I'm saying? And he'll tell people about how Andy was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll do better," and then that was it. They hung up, and then he called me. And he I still remember he texted me, and I was getting dinner with Daniel, and then he called me and was just like, "Hey, it's all good. It'll be fine. You just gotta make sure next semester you bring your grades up." And I was like, "Okay." And then I was like freaking out and started bawling my eyes out, but I had already hung up. And then like 45 minutes later, I was still crying, and I called him back. And he was freaking out at that point because he thought that I like got in a wreck or something. Because I called him and was already crying on the phone. He was like, "Caleb, you okay?" And I was like, "I'm sorry that I have bad grades." Freshman year was rough for me.
Dude, I hated freshman year.
I love freshman year as a college experience, but class-wise,
Dude.
I just hate looking back that all the classes I made bad grades in were for computer science. Not just like They technically became general elective classes once I swapped over, but I didn't need them for psychology. So I could have, if I just started in psychology, I'd have like probably a 3.9 GPA compared to whatever trash that I have because of those C's.
Dude, I'll never get over my freshman year in communications, that stupid 6 to 9 class. I
hated that class.
Dude, I did too. I had an A. Like
I wasn't even in it.
I had like a 98 all semester, and it's kind of similar to the tram thing. We had this big final presentation and speech we were supposed to give. I gave it. He graded it. Gave us our papers, or the rubric papers that he graded, and I made like a 95. So I was gonna keep my A, and I was like, okay, cool. I get a text from my mom, like this big long paragraph, and she is flipping on me like, I cannot believe we sacrificed so much and I'm giving you so much for you to get a college experience and you're just going to waste it away. There is no reason you should have a D in communications. I was like, what are you talking about? I have an A in communications. She was like, you do not, Caleb. Your GPA is blah, blah, blah. I was like, what? And I went and checked. He put a 0 in for that project, and it dropped me from an A to a D. And I emailed him. His number was on the syllabus. I called him 5 times. I emailed the dean, and the dean took care of it. And then finally the professor emailed me back. I'm so sorry, Caleb, but did you not turn your paper back into me? And I mean, my niece was just born, so I've been busy. I was like, dude, I don't care. Like, you watched me give the presentation. Like,
yeah, that's dumb.
Put my grade in, like, and then it got fixed, so it wasn't a big problem. But I was like, for like 2 days straight, I was super stressed because no one would respond. I mean, it was over Christmas break, so I kind of get it. Like, no one was responding to me, but I was like, dude, like, that's my GPA. Like, if that's a D, I cannot go here. So fix it.
I can respect professors being busy.
Yeah.
But I hate when professors are like, sorry, I was busy, I couldn't answer this. It's like, yeah, but you expect me to instantly reply to all your emails as if I don't get 9,000 a day. Yeah. I'm stating all their other stupid junk that they want me to know.
The Bulldog Brew.
Shut the freak up, I don't give a crap.
Dude, when I first started doing the Bulldog Brew, I thought it was like, oh my gosh, they're starting their own coffee company? That's sick. And then it's not. It's just a Daily Mail thing you get about everything going on campus.
That I will never read.
I'm like, what is this? I wish I could unsubscribe to it, but I don't know how.
You can block the email, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, like, freshman year, I guess I kind of would have appreciated that, because I got that Cork app to like find out if there were any events going on, and it didn't matter because I never went to any of them. But like, now that I work with event services, I just check the calendar if I want to know if something's going on.
That's cool.
And then I can show up in uniform and get in for free if it's a paid event.
Yeah.
I think they would have let me in without showing my ID the other night because I was wearing my uniform. Because the lady, like, she asked for the person in front of me, and then I started pulling mine out, and she kind of just like looked away, and I was like, okay. I showed it to her still, and she's like, oh, you're good. I was like, oh, thanks.
Was it Rebecca? I guess you don't know who Rebecca is. What does she look like?
She was short.
Kind of like this hair?
Yeah.
That's Rebecca. Rebecca's so nice.
She seemed really nice.
She's like my favorite person in the office. She's moving to California, though, because her husband got a job.
Sounds very similar to the other lady that left, Caroline.
Well, she still lives here. She got a better job, but it's work. She works from home, so and makes more money than she did at state.
She pulled a what's his face moving the Staples right before
Dwight.
he hit the
Oh, sorry.
I know Dwight's name. Is it not Staples? The manager from the branch that Karen
Josh?
Josh?
I think it was Office Depot.
I'm gonna look this up.
I know,
This might be good for
I know
next
Dwight.
office trip.
I know what Dwight went to Staples.
I know Dwight went to Staples because that made me mad because I didn't like Andy.
But the girl from Community was in those episodes.
Shirley.
Shirley.
Staples.
Bro, crazy.
I wish that was a trivia question or something. Back at Office Trivia, I would have pulled that one out of my butt.
Yeah. The dude that played Josh in The Office is the bad guy in Outer Banks. Fun fact.
I wouldn't have known that one.
That show sucks.
It looks terrible.
The first season was so good. It was so fun. It was just teenage hijinks that turned into something that was bigger than they expected, and then from there it just slowly started getting worse. And then the fourth season was so incredibly bad.
It
Or
got
third
popular,
season.
and when things get popular, they get second seasons that weren't planned, and they
Yeah.
suck. Except Stranger Things, apparently, but I still haven't seen Stranger Things, but it's good from what I've seen.
Like the second season, the fourth. I don't know if it's third or fourth. I've lost track of how many seasons it is. But the last season of Outer Banks was one of the worst television seasons of anything I've ever seen in my life.
I watched some of it as you watched it. It didn't look good.
It's horrible. But the CW and Netflix both have a pattern of making very good first seasons of shows, and then them getting worse. Like Riverdale's one of my least favorite shows of all time, just because of how off the rails they completely went with that show. Like, it was a murder mystery show about kids in high school and them dealing with their crazy parents and stuff, and now they have superpowers and live in the 70s.
It's just very clear.
It's a musical.
Pretty sure Riverdale's done.
Probably, I hope so.
It's very
got
clear
to.
when shows have zero idea of what the ending will look like.
Yeah.
Because then they just do stuff.
It's okay to end the show.
I appreciate when shows know when they need to end.
Oh, Andy Ladd.
I'm here. What won the poll? It was Sweet Tea. We do live in the South.
Sweet tea? Yeah, dude.
If we lived in the North, people would be like, "What the frick is a sweet tea?"
I would like to get like a Riverdale watch party going just to watch the first season, because the first season is so good. But
I would, but I wouldn't waste my time.
yeah, it's fair.
Like, I wouldn't tell somebody to watch
Just
the first
one
season of
season.
JJK because it sucks after that. Actually,
Yeah.
that's a lie. The movie's good. The first arc of the second season's good. I could have just landed us in hot water if any crazy
JJK.
anime family.
Andy, stop!
Andy also hates it. Every time me, him, and Jacob hang out, it will get brought up how much we actively hate JJK, which is annoying because I could have just not been in this situation. Jacob told me to watch it. I started watching it, and then like the day after I started watching, he was like, "Dude, I'm sorry, it's bad now."
I didn't even like the little of the first season I watched. The premise just seemed like this has been done before. You're fighting demons.
The premise was cool. They were
everything that I've ever seen. But
they did like interesting stuff with it and changed stuff, but I think it's very similar to Chainsaw Man.
yeah,
But Chainsaw Man's universe is so much cooler.
Chainsaw Man is leaps and bounds above JJK.
Chainsaw Man is like the way that they do like power scaling in Chainsaw Man is sick. The more scared somebody is, not of the devil itself, but of what the devil's based on, the more powerful the devil is. Like the gun devil's the most powerful devil, and then so is like the control devil. Like that's so much cooler than. JJK doesn't even try to make their spirits make sense. They're just there, and then they have like awful. Dude, JJK sucks. The hype around JJK is baffling to me. It's worse than the hype around AOT. Like AOT at least has a semi-coherent story until the very end.
I liked AOT.
I finished it the other day.
It's not my favorite, but I like it. I'm never gonna argue that it's.
Have you watched the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like through the last episode that came out like a month ago
Mhm.
or 2 months ago.
It's good. It's not great. I wouldn't say it's good. I'd say it's slightly above average for a TV show. It's not something I'll watch again.
Like
But
it's one of those things that gets. It's like if you say it's bad, you will get eviscerated online for saying that.
Well, I'm not the type of guy who's going to go to
Yeah.
online
But like,
anime chats and say,
I don't either. Sometimes when I get on Instagram on the rare occasion I do, my For You page, whatever it's called, explore page, or I don't even know, is like 90% anime things, and then I'll click on them because like it'll be like anime news, and then the comments will be like, why in the world is Demon Slayer getting a new season? Doesn't it suck? No, it doesn't. And they'll be like, I watched the first episode and I didn't like it. And this show sucks. Like, well, you're an idiot. But then pretty much every comment section is gonna have that. But then the AOT comment sections are like, this is literally perfect and there's nothing wrong with this show. It's like, did you watch the final episode? That crap sucked. I've never liked AOT, but it's more of a it's overhyped in my opinion, which is why I come off strongly about it. But like, I can admit that it's a good show. I just think that it's way overrated. Like, there's plenty of flaws in that show,
right,
for it to be considered a masterpiece.
While we're talking about shows that are masterpieces, while y'all were playing pickleball during Star Wars Day, me and Cade watched Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Empire. They're both Dave Filoni written shows in like the same animation style as the Clone Wars. They're essentially shortened Clone Wars episodes, but the Tales of the Jedi, there were 4 episodes about Ahsoka and 4 episodes about Qui-Gon Jinn and Count Dooku. And dude, the Count Dooku and Qui-Gon Jinn episodes they were perfect. Like, they were so freaking good. Like, seeing Count Dooku's turn to the dark side was freaking awesome. And
yeah, I kind of want to watch that.
It was so good. And then Tales of the Empire was fun. There was, they did 3 different characters and they each got 3 episodes. And the first one was really stupid. And then the next 2, they were alright. They weren't great, but they were fun. But, dude, the Qui-Gon Jinn and Count Dooku episodes were so good. Like, oh man.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch them.
Not as good as,
Siege of Mandalore.
Siege of Mandalore. Siege of Mandalore is literally perfect, and if there's a category better than perfect, it gets that category.
It would make it.
I don't think there is. Siege of Mandalore is so good. We did do Star Wars Day. That was fun. We didn't really talk about that, but
I was in and out the whole day, so I remember that I don't like Revenge of the Sith, which used to not be a hot topic, but now it is because people have come around to it. I just don't like the writing, which, I mean, dialogue has never been Star Wars strong suit, so, but I think it's like horrid in the prequels, like some of the dialogue in them. And then I don't like how avoidable everything is. Like, I feel like they could have made it a little bit better with like Anakin turning evil, because I mean, the Clone Wars existing helps because it's so much better than the prequels in every way, and like Anakin is like getting more and more aggressive every season. Like especially season 6, and so it's like when it's just like just out of nowhere, he's just pissed off at everything in episode 3. It's just like, this is so out of character for his character. It just doesn't make sense. And then
I don't know. And then, like, from the Jedi Council's perspective, it's like,
I get why they wouldn't want somebody that they could see as becoming evil on the Jedi Council, but if you're aware that this is going to make him just so absurdly angry...
Well, they put him on the council, they just didn't make him a master.
Yeah, make him a master. Just make him a master. Like, literally him not becoming a master was the main driving force to become evil.
I don't think so. I think it was definitely the Chancellor's effect on him because he wanted to save Padme.
I mean, yeah,
was
but
his driving force, and then
once the Chancellor being a master,
angered him or got him to be so angry about it, it just consumed him. And then he got to the point to where he thought everyone was against him, and including Padme, and he went crazy. And then, of course, Padme dying and the Chancellor saying that Anakin killed him in his anger was like just it. He was done after that. Of course, did you see the latest press conference with the new creative director of Star Wars?
No.
She's gonna explore gender identity as well. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Star Wars. Do you not know who your target audience is? No one cares. It's in the Star Wars universe. If you want to explore those things, great. There are plenty of
Just
movie
make a movie
series.
about
Make
it.
a movie about it. There are plenty of series you can go do that in. But you are going to drive Star Wars to bankruptcy. And then Disney's gonna drop it. And
She's banking on like the 1% of Star Wars fans to watch all the movies 30 times in theaters. Like, I don't.
It's Star Wars. Like, there's no point. You're not gonna accomplish anything by doing it in Star Wars. You're just gonna make 90% of its fan base really angry.
It's just like maybe I'm in the wrong for thinking that way, but like in a world like Star Wars where there are just hordes of aliens and robots that are all considered essentially human in a way, like there's only so many ways you can tackle subject matter like that. And I think that they've done like racism like nearly perfectly in most Star Wars media, because like there are like species that are just like, you know, that are obviously not counted as equal, and they have to like fight to be better, and they are better. It's just like
they've given like every species that people would say is discriminated against in Star Wars, like the Sand People, for example. They had probably the best episodes of Boba Fett were when Boba Fett, other than the Mandalorian episodes, when Boba Fett was living with the Sand People and learning about their culture.
yeah.
Like, there really is no discrimination for any type of people in Star Wars. Like, every Jedi has, it's just every species, men and women, in its ranks. So do the Sith. So do senators. Like,
There's aliens everywhere.
like there's no point creating political problems in a universe that doesn't have those political problems. Like, make a.
She's gonna forget that Mace Windu existed, and she's gonna make a thing about like the first Black Jedi, and it's gonna take place like 800 years after the prequels or something, and everybody's gonna go, what? Mace Windu? Who's like
Even the girl.
who gets shafted.
Even
In like
the
comic book lore, Mace Windu is so powerful.
Even the fifth sister was a Jedi at one point before she became an Inquisitor. Like,
oh, yeah, that's the Obi-Wan
yeah,
villain, right?
yeah, who was horrible, and then everyone got mad when people said she was horrible. But like, it's not our fault. She couldn't act, and her character was horribly written. Like, people need to grow up. It's okay to say somebody did a bad job in a role.
Saying that somebody is good in a role just because of their race or gender is sexist or racist.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but there are plenty of.
There are so many good actors of like literally every race.
Yeah, and
like,
gender. Like, you could have found anyone to play that role that you wanted to and would have done a great job, but
they should have got
you hired an
Lupita.
They hired.
I don't know how to say her last name, but the girl that's in A Quiet Place, the new one that's coming out.
Yeah.
She is such a good actor.
Who was the girl from Jurassic World Dominion? Because she was a great actress.
Oh yeah, she was really good.
She was so good. She could have played that part perfectly.
Who is that? That's making me mad. I've seen her in something
Zoe
else.
Saldana has played every sci-fi role she has ever been in exquisitely. Star Trek, Avatar, Guardians of the Galaxy has played it perfectly. Get her. Like,
Dominion has a 29 on Rotten Tomatoes.
it's crazy.
77
Critics.
on that's 29 is crazy.
Dominion was good.
Wanda Wise.
She even looks like the fifth sister, but she's not. She hasn't really played anything big.
Maybe I saw her in the trailer for Imaginary.
She did great in Jurassic World, though. Oh, she was in
Apparently she was in the first one.
Don't.
Do I remember? Was she
I
like
don't remember
a
her.
cameo or something?
Maybe. What'd he say?
The sunburn's gotten worse, dude. I was in pain this morning. Oh yeah. I got sunburned.
She isn't Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, she's the like she was the other girl that was in WandaVision. She was her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, great job.
Good job.
Like, I mean,
I didn't even like that show, but I liked her character.
her character was fine.
I don't know if I'd like her character in the Marvels, but that I haven't seen that movie, so
I need to watch it just to see.
See my sunburn at all. Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's my entire bag. It's not good. It is not good. When we went out for Star Wars Day, some of my friends from Columbus came up and played with us, and so we were out there, and it was so hot. And then when they left, we were like, let's play a singles, or not a singles, we'll play a 1v2, and so I played against Colton and Daniel, and it got, like, there was like nobody out there, and I don't play without my shirt on, but I took my shirt off, because it got so hot, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I took my shirt off, and then that was the first time I've ever stopped playing pickleball on my own accord. That wasn't because I'd like to go to work or something. I was so physically exhausted, I could not, like, I was slow, I couldn't do anything. I was like, and they were too, like, we were done. We were like, yeah, we gotta go. But then we went out Monday. Yeah, it was Monday because I had to go to work that afternoon, and it was like even hotter, but there was nobody on the courts. Like, some people came in and out, but I think only one couple walked in actually, and then left before we left. But it was so hot and it was sunny, so we all took our shirts off when we were playing. And then by like the last game, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely probably gonna get a sunburn if I don't put my shirt on. And then my idiot self didn't put my shirt on, and so now my back is eviscerated, and it really hurts. But it's kind of whatever. And then yesterday, as it was mentioned at the top of the stream, because I was tired, I played pickleball from 2:50 to 8:50. Pretty non-stop too.
Nice.
It was awesome. I loved it. Because we were playing, I was playing okay, and then y'all left. Me and Daniel played a singles game, and then we went over, played in the Challenger court. Probably should have won, but we didn't. And so we moved over to a different court, played singles, and then one of the guys that me and JJ played against on Star Wars night when we went back out there, him and his friend came, and I guess I'll go into a little detail because I thought this was stupid. Him and his friend came out there, and I don't really, I guess they were just kind of on it. It wasn't the same guy, the same two guys. There was only one of them that me and JJ played against. The other dude was a completely different guy. Mm-hmm. But like, me and Daniel beat them. I got to 8-0 on a golden pickle run against them, and then we got the 10-0 without them scoring, and then I think they scored 4 points maybe? No. They didn't even get 4. They got 3. And so we beat them 11-3 first game, and then they're like, y'all want to run it back? And they had like just gotten there, so like, they were still warming up. And then they did much better the second game, but like, they made so many bullcrap calls that weren't even like calls that they could make. His friend, it was his friend, it wasn't him. First, it was 5-3, and I know it was 5-3 because I had called 3-5 on my serve, and I was on the left side, which means I have an odd score, and the dude that started on their even side was on the odd side, so they had an odd score. So it was either 3-5 or 1-7, and I knew it was at least 3 for us because we had gone back and forth. And so when they got the ball back, bro called the score as 6-2, and I was just like,
what?
No, we have 3. He ignored me, and then when we won that point, when the other guy got it, I was like, hey, we have 3. And I wanted to say y'all have 5, but I was not gonna argue with him. And then the same dude that called score 6-2, he jumped, and then to hit a ball, and when he landed, he like moved into the kitchen. I was like, you can't do that. I didn't even call the point. I said, like, we finished it out, and we got it. And then I was like, by the way, you can't step into the kitchen at like when it has a bounce? And he said, oh no, I didn't. I just followed through. And I was like, yeah, I didn't say anything. I was like, you can't do that. If you are running and then after you hit it, you step into the kitchen, you can't do that. Like, that's just not how the game works. But I didn't say anything. And then, bro hit a ball out. Like, it was clearly out on our side. Me and Daniel both call it out. And then we start swapping sides because it was our second serve. And then when I go to hit it, I turn around, he's sitting there doing this. I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, that was in. And I was like, okay. I just threw him the ball. I was like, I'm not going to sit here and make an enemy with this idiot. But, like, dude, I was baffled at the dumbness of that kid. I mean, and he was pretty good at pickleball, and he seemed like a nice guy, but...
You know his name?
No, I don't. I was just like, dude, you cannot call your own ball in.
It was not on your side of the court.
Yeah, like...
You can't call it.
I mean, the only time I would argue like that would be if it was like a tournament. I'd be like, are you sure that was out? Or if I was playing with y'all. Like, I don't have the stones to say that to a stranger. Like, that was in. Unless it was like the best shot I've ever hit in my life and clearly in, and they were trying to screw me over, then maybe, but like, I was baffled. And then, the last point of the game, it was 10-8. I was on the even side, so I had 10. And I say 10-8-1. Serve, he hits it into the net, and then I go to like dink paddles, and they're like, that was 9. I was like, no, it wasn't. It was 10-11. We have 11. Good game. And then they came up and hit paddles, and we just walked off. I was like, that was embarrassing. If they were good, better, because they weren't bad. But if they were better, I'd be less annoyed, because then we would have just lost to them. But like, they really wanted to win. And then me and Daniel went back to we played against another couple. They were good.
When you say couple, like relationship couple, or just two?
I'm pretty sure they were a relationship
Okay.
couple. The guy clearly played tennis, and then he told us that he played tennis because dude, it was wild. He like, you know the thing I like to do sometimes where I'll like throw the ball up and then try to catch it on my paddle? Daniel like, he hit him the ball and it was his serve, and then the guy like reached out and then scooped it like that and then threw it into his hand.
That's cool.
And it was like so much more impressive than I could put into words.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. And me and Daniel looked at each other and we were like, did he just do that? And then Daniel went, are you seriously going to do that and then not say anything about it? And it sounded so aggressive. I was like, Daniel, no. And he turned around and he was like, what? And he was like, that was so cool. How did you do that? And he was like, oh, I play tennis. Or he was like, that was years of tennis. I was like, oh, I feel you then. Because I try to do that. I just can't do it. But then it was really funny. It was our serve. It was like 10-7 or 8 or something. And I hit it, and the girl was playing net, and I hit it past the girl, and so he ran behind the girl to hit it. And then when he hit it back to me, I just like tapped it over like way left to where, because they were both on the right side. And then as he ran to get it, and then he just like, after he didn't get it, he threw his paddle, and he turned around and started laughing, and I was like, I was scared that I like made him mad or something by hitting it like that. And he seemed to be upset with himself for not seeing that coming, because he was like, he turned around and was laughing. I was like, yeah, that was about the dumbest thing I could do. I don't know if he was talking about throwing his paddle or running cross court the way he did, but he seemed like a really nice guy. I hope I play with him again. And then after that, we went back to the Challenger court, played against these guys that were just like some of the best players I've ever seen in person. Lost 11-0. But then
who they were? Like what they looked like?
There's 2 Asian guys. Their names were Scotty and Nick. Scotty and Nick. They were super good. And then this guy named Josh, I've never played with him. I've seen him out there though. Like, he came out and played with me against him, and we won 11-8. And we played again, and 11-7, and then we lost 8-11. And we were going to play a little championship game, but these 2 guys wanted to take us on, so we had to show them what's up. And then me and Daniel played those two guys. And at that point, the fatigue started to set in. Like 3 points into that game, we were up at that point. I was like, I walked over to Daniel, I was like, dude, I ain't gonna make it much longer. I was so tired. And we lost. So, but those guys also seemed nice. I went up and introduced myself to them after too. But it was an ideal pickleball day. Played for 6 hours, and I was just playing against a bunch of people I didn't know, and most of them are better than me. So it was
How do you
fun.
get better?
How I get better. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now I think we're gonna go play.
What time is it?
Like 7:47. Like 7:47.
Is it 7:47?
Typically, when someone says like a time, they're giving a very nondescript time, like 8 or 7:45. But no, it is literally 7:47.
It's like, I mean, it's not quite there, but it's almost.
It's around 7:47 and 21 seconds. Probably something like that.
Bro.
Yeah.
I think going to coffee was the move. I'm pooping better. I'm feeling better. It takes longer for it to sit, like, to kick in, though.
That's
like,
what I was talking about
with-
when I had coffee at Jack's. Like,
Yeah.
what caffeine from an energy drink is kind of like
instant.
it's not like it's faster, but then
Yeah.
coffee was just like an all day thing.
Yeah.
Like I should
Which
probably
like.
get a coffee tomorrow when I drive to it.
Right. Which I like the coffee for that purpose because
Is it way or that way? Or
that way.
That way?
It's that, like, you gotta go
Like-
past the Sprint Mart, like you're exiting to
I
Columbus.
might
and
stop
that.
at the Starbucks. On
That's, you gotta pass that way. Go that way. So.
go to the new Starbucks. So, yeah. I think we're about to go play pickleball again.
Yeah, we just gotta wait 15 minutes because I don't think the guys or Colton's awake.
Colton's awake.
I
Although
doubt JJ's awake.
he might not want to play anymore since he said his
Yeah.
sunburn has gotten worse. But I was fine yesterday playing. It hurt really bad, but I just kind of dealt with it. I'm just in that pickleball mood. I just gotta be playing.
It's like a runner's high. Pretty soon the DSM's gonna include pickleball as a
Caleb,
drug.
I'm gonna have it. And then, yeah, Tram will have to start teaching it in drug use and abuse, and she'll say, it's okay if you do it.
But these are the facts.
These are just the facts. These are just the facts. This drug will kill you. It will ruin your life. And then the funniest thing, back on that topic, the funniest thing about that was the 2 documentaries she showed that were way too graphic.
The second one was ridiculous.
It was freaking disgusting.
The first one wasn't that bad. Like, it was bad, but like I could stomach it.
I couldn't get through
The
either
second
of them.
one was just.
Way too graphic.
It's
That's
insane.
besides the point.
It's insane to me that the people in the second one were just saying, like, yeah, no, it's killing me, man. I'm gonna die. Like, yeah, like, because of this, like, my skin is doing this, and yeah.
They were so casual.
But they keep doing it. Like,
just leave.
just stop.
The one dude was like, yeah, there's 2 ways I'll stop being an addict. I die or I go to jail. And I'm like, that is an awful way to live, sir. But
That dude
to
said there's.
each their own.
That dude said there's no gender in heaven. I was like,
Yeah, that was hilarious because Trent was like, I didn't know that was there, and I was like, yeah, it's clear that you don't watch these things before you make us
Yeah.
watch them.
he kept going, and then he said, and I was like, yeah. And then,
I don't know why that was in the video, like from the video making standpoint. What was I gonna say?
and then that dude who was like making the whole video, like, there's no gender in heaven, and he came back to the guy and he went, well, yes, there is like different genders, but there's no like He explained it, but initially I had the same reaction as the guy doing the interview. I did the head cock. I went. It's like when someone's praying and you're praying too, and they say something just absolutely crazy. And you're like, what? Just kind of do one of those moves. I remember it was Mother's Day like years ago at our church, and our other guitar player Bill was praying, and I guess he got confused at the fact that it was Mother's Day, but he started praying. He's like, "Dear Father, we just want to thank you
For the mothers in the room, we want to say good morning to Jesus Christ. Good morning, Mother Mary. And I just went, what? You just prayed to Mother? You just prayed to Mary? What? Oh man, we were like holding hands in a circle while we were doing it, and I was holding Jackie's hand, and Jackie just squeezed my hand super hard. Like, I was like, and then later on, he was like, he apologized, like, I just got caught up in like the Mother's Day aspect. I didn't mean to do that.
Guys, I became Catholic.
I was like, what? Dude, when he said good morning, Mother Mary, I was like, dude, I gotta open my eyes. I don't want to pray to Mary.
I can't do this, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm out.
I was like, oh man.
But yeah,
It was so
the
funny.
drug videos. We'd be watching this video that was so clearly anti-drug, and then she would say like 4 or 5 times, like, "No, I don't want you to take away from the message being anti-drug. I just want you to get the facts." Like,
Yeah,
the facts are that
kills you.
like it was literally just like
Slowly
the
peels your flesh
opioid one.
away.
It was so obviously biased because obviously it was because they were trying to get people to stop doing opioids, but like. Why show it to us if you're just gonna say like stuff like that? She must be addicted to opioids. She's not addicted to opioids. That was a joke. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Hey, exam average.
Is that for
Dev psych.
DevPsych?
No mother flipping grade. Because why the flipping heck would there be?
How the flipping heck would there be a grade? That means you might be getting ready to post the grade because she posted the assignment.
Maybe.
Some profs do that. Profs.
Profies.
Some profs do that. This semester was like weird in the sense that it wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard. Like, I don't know. Like, last semester was a breeze for me. This semester has been like a not breeze, but it's not been my hardest semester. I think it's been my hardest semester since my experimental psych semester.
Last semester was a breeze and kind of sad because it was my all A's semester. Like I mean I was taking experimental, which was really hard, and I was pouring my time into experimental. And I got the A in experimental, but then I got a freaking B in psych of learning, which was such an easy class. I still blame it on the fact that I got pulled over right before I took the exam, and I was scared because I'd never been pulled over before.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I owe $800 for having an expired license plate. Like, I was not happy, and I was sad, and I was very unhappy, and I was very sad when I was taking that exam. And then I didn't like fail it or anything. I just made low enough to where I had a B.
You were not having a good day.
I was not having a good day. My dad told me to email the professor and ask to retake it. I was like, I don't think she's gonna go for that. She doesn't care about my life.
Yeah, no, she was there to teach and get out.
Yeah.
But,
She cares. She wants me to care about her life.
oh gosh.
She talks about it a lot.
If it wasn't for her study guides, I would have not took any more classes with her than I did. But the study guides were just so clutch. Like, if you study the study guides, you get an A on every exam. So not biopsych, not motivation either. Right, what's the name of that class? Behavior modification was supposed to be with her this semester,
But it wasn't.
and it wasn't because I think she got fired. Because I haven't seen her name on any of the psych classes this year. So
It wouldn't surprise me.
it wouldn't surprise me either. But
She wasn't the best professor ever.
no, not by a long shot. But
Best professor I've had here at State outside of Derby is Brown.
Brown is awesome.
I adore her teaching style. She's the best.
She's awesome.
And dude,
Her, like, I thought that the final was gonna be a little bit harder, but literally,
I think I made a 105 on it. She put the I wish I could find out what I made. I just have the final. Actually, let me go check. I just checked my final grade earlier. I didn't check my grade in class or in the exam. But she had a study guide that had 12 subjects on it, and then she had that said we were gonna have to do 4 of them, and then she had a video
that had the 8 subjects that were actually going to be on the exam. And so I just narrowed it down to the 4 I wanted to do, only studied those, and then it wasn't even like I was having to think. I was just writing out what I wrote out when I studied on Monday. It was so easy.
I think my favorite, if I was ranking professor, she'd be number 3. Or man, she might be too. I might put her at 104.
I made a 104. I don't know what I got 1 point taken off of, but
I don't know if I would put her above Derby or not, but it'd be close. Bison's my 1, and then it's between her and Derby for 2.
we had the same top 3.
Yeah.
Because mine would be Derby, Brown, Bison. But to be fair to Bison, I've only had one class with him, so that could change. I've only had one class with Derby too, but he's Dr. Derby. Like there's bros,
Those are the
bros
only-
goated with the sauce.
Those are the only 3 professors
He would be
that
so upset if he found out somebody said he was goated with the sauce.
He'd be mad. He'd be
He
angry.
would be mad.
There's only 3 professors that I will like remember when I leave college, and it's those 3. Like I mean, I guess I might remember Tram. But
I'll remember Spain.
oh gosh, not in the positive
Not in a positive way.
context.
I'll also remember.
That's probably like the 8th week in a row we've
Kude
mentioned
Sensei.
Spain.
That's my Japanese professor.
Kude Sensei.
Kude Sensei.
I'm
I
trying to
remember her, but that's just because like I will continue to learn Japanese, and I will.
Oh, I forgot about a professor who is probably my number 2 now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah,
Who? Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, Tram's the first is probably of all my PhD student professors I've had. It's probably my least favorite, which is
I couldn't get a read on her. It was like every other day.
it was either I really liked her.
I had cyclothemia with her, dude.
Yeah.
Like it was just constant changing of like if I like her, and I just could not tell. Because she seems so nice, but then also would be so mean at times.
Yeah.
And then
Like-
now I'm scared that she also seems like the person that would very biasly grade something, and now I'm scared she's gonna see this. She is crap talking her. I don't know.
She's not gonna watch Caleb A.M.
She's not going to. But
But have you seen? Do you like her more than your social psych professor? Was
I
he a PhD
love my
student?
social psych. No, he wasn't.
He wasn't?
He was awesome. He's top 10 professor. That dude was great.
I didn't know if he was.
What? I can't
PhD
remember
or
his
not.
name, but he was really cool.
Yeah.
I really liked him. I was nervous about his class at first because it wasn't. What's her name? But
Tram, Mac.
my gen psych was a PhD student. He was.
Yeah.
His name's
Bod was too.
Bukamir. He was cool. I liked him a lot.
All PhD students who teach a class have to teach 1 semester of Gen Psych before they're allowed to teach like other stuff. Which my psych and the law professor, his class was pretty fun because it was just papers and debates. There were 3 papers, and the rest of the class was just debating, so it was fun. The topics were interesting. He was funny, but he was also he was mean sometimes, but it was like just his personality. Like he'd make fun of you if you said something really stupid.
I liked that.
But he made fun of me once because I forgot what the term was, but he explained it and he said, "Can somebody give me an example of like what this would be?" I don't remember the term for it, so don't ask me what the term was. But I raised my hand and said, "When I did my capstone project, I did the effects of caffeine on stress in college students, and I said my results came back saying that caffeine had no effect on stress. Now, granted, mine was only 12 people, so the numbers don't really matter as much, but like all other all other studies say that caffeine does affect stress and causes more stress the more you drink at a college level. But if I was subject to your term, I would say that caffeine doesn't have an effect on stress because my research said it didn't." And he said, "That was a really good example. Everyone hear that? Only thing is," and then he started laughing, like, just because you had 12 kids doesn't mean that your experiment wasn't invalid or did anything. He laughed about it for so long. I was like, "Dang, dude. You were complimenting me, and then you were just like, screw you, dude." It's like, frick. But yeah, it was a fun class.
I don't know if I've had any other PhD students.
I've had 4. Pete, the other Pete, Tram, and Mac. And Miss Mac's clearly my favorite. But she taught class as well, too. Like, it was simple, she stuck to the syllabus to a T every time. You knew what was expected of you, and she taught the material well and answered questions well if you had any. So
I wish I remembered my professor's name. Because he was one of my. He'd be top 10. I need to go through and make top 10 professors so I know how much to thank them when I graduate.
yeah, when I give my valedictorian speech, when I take the phone from
Freak you, Spain!
when I take the mic from Mark Keenum,
Yo, Keenum, give me that mic! Pass the mic, Dr. Key!
Dr. Key,
Key!
Kiki, do you love me? Writing.
Alright, let's do this.
That was one of the we were drawing stuff on the Rice Krispie treats we were passing out, and Nathan just wrote the words Mark Keenum on one of them and put it out. It was funny. All right, we'll see you guys next week for Caleb A.M. because it's Caleb A.M. time, and we love Caleb A.M. I love you guys,
My
Caleb
name's
A.M.
Caleb A.M.
My name's Caleb A.M. too.
See you later.
See
That's
you.
why we call the show Caleb A.M. Y'all got Caleb A.M. Get Caleb A.M.